You already know who it is. It's your boy Mama the Ghost, that man again, aka Ace Lombardi. And I'm here with the savant, the great culinary arts chef, the writer of the book I Found Me, Mr. Chef Corey Hall. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and the crowd goes wild. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh man, Chef, I look at all your accomplishments, and your book is one of the most biggest things that I'm very admire the most. How much time and effort was put into writing this book?
My whole life, really. I just comprised my life into 101 pages, because I've got a lot to offer the world. It's my story. It's about how I fight an invisible enemy that plagues the world, mental illness. It just happens to be Mental Illness Awareness Month. So I just wanted to give back because I was told in order to keep it, I got to give back.
Most definitely. About bipolar disorder, what exactly is bipolar disorder? Because most people don't know what this disorder is. Can you explain this for us?
Yes, as best I can. I can't technically give you the textbook definition. I'm not a physician. From my experience, I was bipolar 1, I believe. You have either manic or it's like bipolar 1 is either manic, and then you have the other one, which is like like the depression phase. Like it's like you either go, or you're just like you just can't get out of bed, you can't shower. And I suffered from both of them, 1 and 2. It's a very, very nasty disease. In my opinion, for me, it was brought upon by trauma. It was delayed, and over time, for no rhyme or reason, it just manifested into something that I couldn't understand. And the only way that I knew that I had that was I had to ask for help because, again, I was doing things that were out of my character for no rhyme or reason, and it was like from a third-person perspective, I could see myself doing things that were out of my character, and I couldn't stop. And then once I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, I still really didn't know how to accept it. I didn't know what it was, and then I didn't know how to fight it. So what I was doing was I was trying to seek the help to shut everybody up, because I'm fighting this battle within myself, and then you have other people that really just don't understand what's going on that are trying to help you. But in my opinion, until you're ready to get the help on your own accord, that's only when you can truly begin to heal.
At what age do you think that you started to notice the disorder itself?
I still didn't know what it was, but around my freshman year in college, my mother suffered from alcoholism, so I grew up with it, and I never really wanted to drink. It was never a part of my upbringing, other than her addiction. But it just manifested when I was in college. I had worked so hard to get to college. I wasn't going to let drinking bring me down. I wanted to play in the NFL. I was 17. I turned 18 at Jacksonville University. I'm away from home. I wanted to come back to Florida because my family was from Florida. I would have stayed in Massachusetts, but I did suffer from what I now know is seasonal depression. So when you have shorter days, cold winters, it causes you to go into a depression, and then quite naturally, when spring comes around, you start to come out of it.
Is this something that is normal within the family? Can it be hereditary as far as bipolar?
Yes, from my understanding, it can be hereditary. Like I said, my mother suffered from addiction. My cousin, who I wrote about in my book, he had bipolar as well. He had committed suicide. My mother ended up passing away. She was in a diabetic coma. She developed diabetes from drinking. My uncle killed himself as well. And I survived 2 suicide attempts myself.
Yeah, I read that in the book. One thing that I did that jumped out at me on the book, and it's just a question I pose here, with what that was stated in chapter 1, would you say that your mother is the starting reason for what started with this?
Well, I really couldn't say because I don't know how far back it goes. But my mother was the first person that I noticed. Now down the line that I have the experience and knowledge, I can look back and see and recognize what it was. My grandmother, who was my mother's mother, she suffered from dementia. So it just runs in the family. I just took it to the next level. you know, I was self-medicating before I even knew I was medicating. And that's like one of the side effects of a mental illness, that you're trying to fix the problem away, right away. And the quickest thing is, you know, either alcohol or illegal substances. That's what you use to cope, that's in my opinion, and that's what I did. So
I was looking at one of the stories that you told when you were in Miami, and there was a young man who was trying to buy a pistol from you, and the gun discharged in the jacuzzi. If you can't give us a more elaboration of this story, because this one jumps off the page as a
actually, yeah, that was in Melbourne. I was actually in the military at the time. I did 5 years Navy. But at that particular time, I had been getting in trouble in the military. I went into the military to seek discipline. You know, I initially wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and then that school was backed up, but I was ready to do something right away. So I ended up settling on search and rescue, and then I went the AW track, which would bring me through NAS JAX. Then I would go through NAS Pensacola. Then I would go through SEER School, which was Survival, Evasion, Reconnaissance, and Escape, and cold weather training in Brunswick, Maine. Flight school was at NAS Pensacola, and I had completed all of those tracks. And I had no accountability. No, I wasn't challenged by the physical, and even flight school was rather easy. I had no issues with my attention and, you know, my thirst for knowledge. I thought it was pretty cool somebody would let me fly a plane or fly in a plane and do the job that we did. You know, doing tracking enemy submarines. You know, we would do war games. You know, trying to locate the sea wolf, things of that nature. Doing drug intervention, drug ops, and then search and rescue as well. So, you know, that training was awesome. And then it just got out of hand. You know, again, self-medicating. I didn't find the discipline that I needed. And then I started to achieve rank. And then it just led to me getting in trouble. So, make a long story short, to your question, I had lost my orders to VP4 in Hawaii, which was the Sea Dragons. That was my dream, to go out to Hawaii. They're like, if you go out to Hawaii, you're gonna act a fool. So I had just gotten in trouble. I just went to Captain's Mast. What happened was I was 3 minutes late. So I was actually, in the military, you're supposed to be 15 minutes early. And this is a rule I live by today. So I was supposed to be 15 minutes early, and I was 12 minutes early, which means I was 3 minutes late. So when they sent me to Captain's Mast, they asked me were my actions in accordance with a petty officer of the United States Navy. And I said yes. He said no. He goes, if I agree with what he says, he said he would go ahead and insert me back in training. And then he said within a year I would actually kill somebody. So this was the scenario he gave. He said you're on a tactical mission in a country you're not supposed to be in, doing a mission that nobody's supposed to know about. And then he goes, fire, fire, fire. And then he waited 3 minutes. He goes, now your missile is 3 minutes off target. How many innocent people did you kill? So that's the gravity of 3 minutes for me. So for that 3 minutes, I got sentenced to 10 days in the brig for every minute that I was late. Reduction in rate, half month's pay times 2 suspended. And then reinserted back into training from day one. And I had already been there for over a year.
So those 3 minutes changed.
Those 3 minutes changed my life.
Changed your whole life.
And then, again, back to your question, I had finally gotten in trouble, and they took my orders to VB4 in Hawaii, and they were like, you're going to CVN TAC 73, which was the USS George Washington in Norfolk, Virginia. So, the question you asked, you know, the shooting the guy, I just had to tell you how I got there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Continue.
I was, for some reason, I had a side job. I was doing a side job as a bouncer. Again, at this time, I was probably in a medic phase for almost the whole 3 years I was in my military career. I just didn't know what it was. I was never diagnosed. So I was in this guy's mansion, and he was going to buy my gun because I couldn't take it with me. I can't have a firearm on base. So, you know, we were drinking really heavy. And he had like a 15-man jacuzzi in his living room. And he's like, does the gun work? I was like, yeah. And we just shot his jacuzzi inside in the house. And yeah, that didn't go over well. Apparently it's illegal. So, yeah, that one got me in trouble pretty quickly. But because of the job that I did for the military, you know, I did whatever they wanted me to do, and then we just moved on.
Let's talk about your son. Is your son into anything as far as military training or sports?
Actually, my son is 6 years old.
Mhm.
Right now, he's currently living in Ipswich, England,
Mhm.
and he takes up after me. He's very physical. He's very, again, has a thirst to learn.
Okay.
So he wants to see me work out. He wants to do what I work out. He's 6 years old. He just ordered a pull-up bar.
Oh wow.
But right now, my son's taking up Muay Thai, soccer,
Okay.
and you know, in England, soccer is the equivalent of our football here.
Mhm.
So you know, every 3 months, you know, I get a chance to go over there because he goes to school year round. But because of the virus now and the way the world is at the moment, everything is shut down.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much where we're at right now. But he's doing everything. I use Instagram.
Mhm.
Instagram is my tool to be able to, you know, teach him as best I can. You know, I'm fresh out of excuses, and technology is you know, brought me to places to where that I never thought I would ever dream of going. He's very, very active. Every time I send him a video, he's like, I want to do what Daddy's doing.
Exactly.
So that's my little man.
I see sports in your family, especially being that your brother was in the boxing, trained by the trainer from Marvelous Al.
Yeah, that was Goody and Pat Petronelli out of Petronelli's gym in Brockton, Massachusetts.
And so also you played baseball, football. Of the two sports, which one would you say is your favorite, baseball or football?
I'm definitely have to go because of how physical I am. I played defense. You know, I played linebacker in college. I played linebacker in high school. Like for me, football. You know, because there's nothing like, you know, crushing a man's will. Just with because you worked hard. You know, you're better prepared. You know, and being able to, you know, just take somebody's will away from them against everything that they're trying to do was a great feeling, which is the reason why I played defense. So, but football got me into college. Football paid for my education.
I've seen you've done some events for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you a Bucs fan?
Actually, I love the Bucs. You know, my roommate in college, you know, my brother Andre Torres, he just got married. Was my roommate from day one. He said, "Boy, if you ever come to Tampa," he goes, "you're gonna move there." I went to Tampa for one Guavaween. Next thing you know, I'm living in Tampa after the military for 17 years. But yeah, some of the Bucs, Ian Beckles, waiting to do something with Warren Sapp down there, Chihidi Yohanatu, and then my man Brady, from New England.
I was just gonna. That was my next question for you.
So yeah, I got some networking going on with some of the Bucs. But again, right now everything's shut down. And because I'm taking care of my dad by myself, my dad's 89, suffering from dementia. It's hard to move, so I have to have an event that will allow me, you know, that will lubricate my situation to where I can just move effortlessly and then make sure that my dad is taken care of.
We both take care of our fathers, and I respect you so much for that. How is the struggle of dealing with your father and the dementia as far as always being there for him?
How is the struggle?
Yeah, I know, because you're always on the road. When you go on the road, who's there to take care of him?
Oh, I have a private nurse, and then also the VA helps me out with a respite program.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm only allotted a certain amount of days. I believe it's 30 days a calendar year.
Oh, wow.
So if I have an event, like say I go to the ATL, you know, I got my man Shahuka Lounge, which is owned by Shaq, and my man Yusuf out there in Stokebridge. You know, I go out there and do events for them. I got some amazing clients in Atlanta, Goody Mob, some of the other artists out there, and then Vegas. If I have a big enough event, you know, it's lucrative enough to where I can go ahead and take care of the private nurse, and then do what I got to do.
Let's talk about your weight loss, the weight loss story. What drove you to be the physical specimen that you are today, as far as how you always working out and putting you? Because I know you had that moment where you got up to 310 pounds. So what drove you to get down to that weight loss?
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Growing up, I always wanted to do what my brother did. I mean, as little brothers do. And my brother was always good. I don't know, I come to think about it, maybe I put my brother up on a pedestal a little bit too high, because I'm not sure if my brother was that good or he just wanted to be that pretty. So it worked out for him, because now my brother's doing his thing in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, but I looked up to my brother very heavy. You know, he was a great inspiration in my life. So the reason why I boxed, he did it. The reason why I played football, he did it. The reason why I was wanting to be better is because I wanted him to look at me. You know what I'm saying? I was always trying to get his attention, but my brother's a little bit older than me, and he always off doing his thing. But I'm, right behind his coattails, you know what I'm saying, trying to up him. So because I did that, it got me playing Division I football. People would tell me that I wasn't good enough. I'm like, you ain't out there on the field with me, strap up, let's see what we got. And then I just used that energy to achieve, to get what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's gonna give it to you. And if somebody gives it to you, it's pretty much not gonna be appreciated. So, going over the talks with my brother, I told him what I wanted to do, and I asked him for his help. He said, the best help I can give you is, dog, I can't do it for you, which means it's on me. You know what I'm saying? My brother's always pointed me in the right direction. I've been to some amazing events with my brother. I met some people that shake the world with their work. Compliments of my brother. And what I did was I was a sponge. I soaked all that up and learned how to make it work for me. I needed it in. I always knew that I could excel out in Hollywood. I could excel in, let's see, Canada, England, Mexico, Portugal, Spain, and John Rock. So I had to find my niche, and what I love to do was I love to cook. And then when you cook, it gives me a peace of mind. It's my art. I make people happy, and I love creating. So that was my end, and I have an amazing story, I believe, and then that's the only way I can keep it is by giving it back. So it's been said that about 1 out of every 3 people are suffering from a mental illness around the world. So right now with the way this COVID thing is, there's almost at 90,000 plus deaths. So there's an average of about a household of 3, so multiply 90,000 by 3. Those are the new numbers that are going to be coming into the mental illness after the immediate threat is over. The fallout after that, which people really can't see, which I can see, because I've been there. I can see you have an immediate trauma. That's taking all the attention. It takes a while for people to look past it, unless they've been there.
True.
So right now, because everyone's had a loss in their family, and then how long it takes to recover depends on the individual. So, that trauma will have to be addressed.
What's the first way to attack the mental illness? What's the first thing that they should do to get help?
They have to ask for it themselves. For me, it didn't work. I was married at the time. No matter, I've been to treatment 5 times. I've been to treatment 5 times, 2 suicide attempts, and a brand new baby. And it just, for some reason, just didn't click. And then one day it did. But I had to call one of my attorneys, is my dear friend. He came over and sat with me through the night, and he's like, "Dog, you leaving tomorrow?" And my man Saeed, he just graduated law school up at Vanderbilt. Tight man, very, very, very tight man. Because you have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Because you've got to be with epic people to do epic ish. You know what I'm saying? You can't be around a cat that's gonna be this way, that way. Some days I need to go get mine every day. So that's the type of people I surround myself. And if you ever notice, it's a small, it's a small community of the people that are up here. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to get up in there, but when you're up in there, you're gonna hold your own because you work to get there, and that's the philosophy I grind with.
I want to make a statement here because you made a point earlier, and I want to say this. Even though your brother's great at a lot of things, there's one thing you got him, and he can't cook like you. You a beast.
My brother can get
that.
Yeah, my brother.
He ain't chef though.
Nah, he ain't chef.
He ain't chef.
He ain't chef.
He ain't chef.
I'll make him eat his fork.
How did you? Because the fact that you was in the military, the fact that you were great in sports. When did you really know that you had this gift of making people happy from food? Just being a great chef.
Believe it or not, out of all the countries that I was always in, no matter what I was always doing, I was always cooking. I mean, I had to learn early because when my brother was a kid, my brother, he got grease popped in his eye, and that was the last dinner he ever cooked me. So, it was on me after that. We was like frying bologna and stuff, but he was like, "You got a patch on his eye, you cook it." And I was like, "Yo, all right." I've been cooking ever since. But my father instilled in us. He's like, if you can do things that people don't want to do, and make it work for you, and then make a living at it, he said you'll never work another day in your life. So, and it's also helped me with my mental. You know what I'm saying? The cleaner the food that you put in, the healthier your body is, the better the output of work that you can do. So I took that and I just ran with it. So I mean, again, back to my brother. A lot of the parties that we would go to, a lot of the movie sets that I've been on, I look at the food. All right, hey, Puff. All right, cool. Hey, what's Puff eat? You know, I'm like, I want to be able to make that, but better and cheaper for my clients. So what I did was, I learned to become a butcher, so that way I can cut out the middleman. Now I can go buy it from the source and break it down on site to your specifications at a fraction of the price. So this is 60% markup on alcohol. You know, I don't drink anymore. A lot of people do. Now if you have a party and then you save 60% of that and you've got everything done fresh for you, who wouldn't want that? Nobody has to go anywhere. You could have everybody there that you want, and nobody there is the person that you don't want there. To whereas if you're in a restaurant, especially now with this epidemic going on, nobody's gonna want to go out. If you can have my services or services of a private chef that loves what they do, and it's cheaper than going out, and you save money, you still get the product at that equal quality or better, my business is gonna look good for me.
Let's say I'm hosting a high profile event for the NFL, and 50% of the players are vegan. What would be something that you would cook for them as far as vegan food?
Well, I've had to do that when I was the executive chef at a location. I had to create a chef, like 2 chef specials with me, and then 2 vegan chef specials, because at the high profile location I was dealing with was in Tampa. And we had the Bucks coming through, we had the executives come through, we had the Tampa Yankees come through, we had the Lightning come through, and I was a chef that served them all. So I have 0 issues with that. First thing I have to do is depends on where I'm cooking at. I have to check out the sources. You know, what's available. Do I have to have whatever shipped in? Are there any allergies? You know, what's the shelf life on what I'm getting? All of those factors come into play with, and I take that off of my client's plate. So that's one less thing they have to worry about. No, I love what I do, so I'm not going to put something out that I'm not going to go ahead and eat. And that's just, you know, for me, it's quality. You know, quality and the integrity of the food has to be maintained from the time it's delivered to the time you finish eating. So, and that's all timing, temperatures. Yeah, all the factors that generally most people don't think about, I do. Because I was health and safety certified, and then not to mention I did inspections, and then I've never failed an inspection at any of the locations that I've ever been in charge of. Because I know what to look for. Not to mention the military taught me how to clean. So if you're working for me and you're standing around doing nothing, you should be cleaning something. Because I'm cleaning something. And there's always something that needs to be cleaned. So.
Carjacking story. Maybe about a week ago I was reading, and that one jumped off the page of me. So I know I don't want to give too much of the book, but that's a good one for our interview. The carjacking story.
Carjacking. I was with a dear friend of mine, my Dina Blitz. You know, Carlos Anthony. We were. I had left the military base, and we used to sit out there and we would drink all night. Not do anything. We would just sit out there and drink all night and just, you know, enjoy life. And then one day I had to go back to the base, and he said, "Call me when you get back to the base." I didn't make it to the base. I woke up. I was unconscious. I could hear the cars going by, but nothing registered. And then I was in Jacksonville, Florida, on Main Street, leaving the north side, headed back to Orange Park, where NAS Jax was, and that's where I was in flight. That's when I was in my fleet replacement squadron. Next thing you know, I've got a contusion like this size on my head because I got hit in the head with a crowbar when I was sitting at a light. But you know, I didn't have my wits about me. You know, I shouldn't have been driving. You know, that's what I did. But yeah, I got carjacked at a red light, and then I called DP, and I was like, I told them what happened, and then, you know, they a lot of the brothers up there in Jacksonville were officers, so they just put out like an APB, you know, officers out, you know, that's how tight we were, and they found my car in Soperton, Georgia, like they found the dude still in it. That's how fast they got out there because they were looking out, and then. You know, they asked me if I wanted to. Actually, we made it all the way up to Soperton, Georgia, 2 of my shipmates, That's going to be Taylor and Rowe. I speak about them extensively in my book. We were together since day one, ever since we got into our A school in Natchez, which was where we did our aircrew training, which is in Pensacola, Florida. We had been together since like day one, and we had went through all of our training together, and then we had ended up in Jacksonville together. And then we all had orders to Hawaii, but me wants to get in trouble. So we all drove up to Jacksonville, to Soperton, Georgia, and then like I had to wait to get my truck back because the guy tried to charge me because it was terrible. But I saw one of the bros from I think it was Lambda Epsilon, Omega Psi Phi, and I was talking to him and I said I like his tags, and we talked. He's like, man, you know so and so? I was like, yeah, I know so and so. He goes, what's he famous for? He's famous for that neck. And then he knew what time it was. That's my cousin. He gave me $20, and he said he asked us if we needed breakfast. That's the reason why I love the bros. We take good care of each other. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what they did for me. And I let my DP know, and then I let Rod know, and I gave Rod the $20 when I got back to Jacksonville. But yeah, that was a rough time for me. That was my mind was all over the place. But then again, that's what bipolar is. You, for no rhyme or reason, you're just doing stuff that's out of character, and then next thing you know, life will check you. And life checked me several times before I woke up. And thank the Almighty, I'm here today so I can give back, so I can help another soul.
And we definitely admire you for that particular, because this book will help inspire those who are dealing with mental illness. Next question I pose here for you: UFC, Titan UFC. That's what we met.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any upcoming events that you're going to be doing with UFC?
Well, actually, I'm waiting to speak to my man Bean. And then he's got some fighters. Then we got Sucker Punch Entertainment out of I believe he's out of Virginia. And then Lex, my man, Big Lex. Big Lex told me to hit him up when I got back from London.
Yeah.
But I've been moving back and forth. I did the PFL as well out there in Las Vegas, and then I met Pete. Pete was partners with Dana White. It was funny. I was sitting there talking to them. They're like, "Why don't you come out here and cook for us?" I was like, "Look, let's go." But then again, Corona came up and just put a monkey wrench in the whole works. But I got some big things coming. I would like to do a lot more with mental illness. So I've reached out to Ray Lewis, with Power 52 up there in Maryland. I was invited to go up there and speak by Charles. And then Ed Reed. I cook for Ed Reed. The ball hawk up there in Atlanta. Big shout out to the U. These people have given me a lot of inspiration because they don't have to give back. They give back because they want to. Ed Reed didn't have to take a job down there going back and work for the U, but he wants to uplift those that are coming behind him. That's how you leave a legacy. Your name is, that coach that did this for me. That person that did this for me. Me, I want to help as many people as I can because somebody's got to. Why not me? So the key is, though, you can tell people how to do it. You can lead a horse to water all day. But you gotta actually, guide them as best they can, as long as they're willing to put in the work, though, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I have to fight this beast every day, and I know I have to fight this beast every day until my last breath, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that so much that I can take care of my father at 89, 90 years old, suffering from dementia. Now, while fighting a disability myself, while working on my weight loss journey, while trying to get my next audition for this next movie, while trying to get this next speaking engagement, while trying to get this next interview. I'm built for it. I ain't got zero issues with the grind.
You opened the door, so I gotta ask it. Actor and model. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Acting, I'm trying to break into the acting. I like to entertain. If I get a cooking show, I'm acting doing what I love. And then I can provide for my family. And then, then I can get a house big enough to where I can have everybody come to my restaurant in my own crib. And everybody eat good for free. That's because, family, it breeds love. You know what I'm saying? When you break bread and sit down with family, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be arguing. Unless it's Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think nobody going to argue at your Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
Not at your Thanksgiving.
My Thanksgiving, I like Friendsgiving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too big on turkey. I'll fry a turkey. I've done I've done several different styles of turkey. I'll do a blackened turkey. I'll do a smoked turkey. I'll do a fried turkey. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it funky. But I like doing crabs Thanksgiving.
Definitely.
Like, I go to my sources and I'll get the 10 to 12 giant snow crabs, and then just ribs. I like to do stuff different. I'll even do a Thai curry for Thanksgiving. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just to switch it up.
Definitely.
But I like to have fun in the kitchen.
You know, now that you done said this, man, I'm gonna do some wild here. I hope all the cameras need to be on me right now.
Okay.
We're gonna say this now that Mama That Goes That Man Again, aka Ace Lombardi, will be doing Thanksgiving with the great chef. If you'll have me. If you'll have me, I'm gonna bring the whole. I'm gonna bring the whole coffee table.
You gotta go ahead and renew your passport, because I might not be in the country.
Listen, we're gonna go wherever.
We're gonna go wherever.
Wherever you want me to go, I'm gonna be there.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I got a call, man. Wakanda. They said it's popping in Wakanda. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Speaking of Wakanda, what country you said did you have the most fun cooking for? I see you have 7 different countries that you cook for. Which one was you had the most fun?
The most fun was probably I don't know, between Portugal and Jamaica. You know, Portugal, because I grew up in a Portuguese port. You know, in Taunton, Massachusetts. When my father and brother first got in trouble, I moved down to Florida, and then didn't work out so well, so I had to move back home with my moms. That was my first interaction with my moms on my own. And I was a little kid that didn't speak Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't too many black people in the community at the time. So it was really a treat to actually go to Portugal, because I spoke a little Portuguese. Back when I was smaller, I spoke Portuguese almost fluently. And then to be able to go there and, you know, communicate with the people, and when they look at you funny, they're like, "Where are you from?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I grew up in a Portuguese port. You know, we went to Faro, we went to Albufeira, and then from there we drove to Spain. Spain was cool. Spain was hot. It was super, super hot. We were down in Mallorca, which is like not too far away from Ibiza and the Canary Islands. Man, I almost got as dark as your pants in about 32.2 minutes. It was that hot. But Jamaica, you know, my girl, Global Gypsy, you know, she brings me in sometimes. She's real cool. I met her through a friend, you know, Miss Natasha, who's the one of the CEOs for Paul Mitchell. So I like cooking right now has opened so many doors for me, and I'm truly blessed. I get to eat well, I get to travel, you know, and what really brought me to that point was Anthony Bourdain. You know, when I was in my depressions and I couldn't like make heads or tails out of life, I would watch this man go and travel the world and eat and talk shit. So I'm like, you know what, I can do that. I know I can do that. You know, I can. And then like his show would actually break me out of my funk. It was like a meditation period, and I was living vicariously through him. And you know, it's sad, but you know, mental illness is tough. You know, my man committed suicide. You know, you would think, you know, what could be wrong? You know, what's wrong with life? It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your religion is.
True.
It doesn't matter, you know, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? If it wants you, you gotta fight back.
True.
In recovery, they told me I gotta work harder than my disability every day. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way to beat it. And then, you know, like I don't go to NA or AA meetings. Generally, what I do is I do the motivational like talks. And then Instagram has also given me an outlet. One of the amazing pages that I use is like Open Dialogue. You know, there's a lot of outlets that you can actually, you know, research, and because you can actually speak your piece, and then no one knows your anonymity is like, you can be anybody. You can create a fake page just so you can go ahead and save your money on a psychiatrist that's just gonna sit on the couch and just write it down, and I give you the feedback. You know what I'm saying? And then say you need to call your psychiatrist or your psychologist. Oh, you gotta wait 3 weeks for a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Especially for veterans. You know, you need somebody to be able to speak to now, and that's what Instagram does. You know, I get to reach out to people immediately, you know, and then I get to read different responses that come in from all over the world. You know, granted, you have your trash on Instagram, whatever. You know, you don't pay attention to it. You don't unfollow.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when people DM me and request copies of my book, you know, I get to help them as best I can. You know, I'm not going to give out no false information or no medical advice. You know, don't do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Watch what I do, make what I do, if you like it, work for you. You know what I'm saying? Because my journey is not your journey. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we're fighting the same beast, but we don't wear the same size shoes.
That's it. That's it.
So, and then you know what I'm saying? You have to. It's your in recovery. It's your program. You gotta make it yours. You gotta own it. Every day you gotta own it.
That's it.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? Because if you slip up, I don't have another run in me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow, I don't worry about tomorrow because it's not here yet. And I'll deal with tomorrow. Today is a present. That's why it's called a present. I'm gonna run it.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Whatever makes whoever I'm cooking for smile.
So it's all about the person who you cook.
It don't matter. You know, I'm putting 120% of anything I do.
Okay. What about what's your favorite dish to eat?
Good point. I like the Wagyu steaks. I really like my Wagyu steaks. I like my Wagyu steaks over the way I prepare it. I'll use a fresh rosemary, I'll use a garlic, and I'll use an unsalted butter. And then, because with the Wagyu, you don't have to do nothing to it. You know, I use an unsalted butter, and then I'll use my fresh sea salt, my fresh cracked pepper, again with a fresh rosemary, and then I'll am I serenading with the spoon?
Listen, I'm hungry now,
Yeah.
man. Listen, I'm salivating at the mouth right now. I'm ready to eat. How did you meet Ziggy?
Ziggy. Oh man, yo, Ziggy's awesome. You know, me and Ziggy clicked right out the gate. I was getting ready to do. I believe I was going to Atlanta. You know, I was getting ready to go to Atlanta. No, I take that back. I was getting ready to go to London, and my man Pretty Boy J is one of the artists I deal with. Who's representative of my man Chris out of Orlando. You know, Pro 192 Studios. You know, good people. And they invited me over to one of their events for one of the showcases to come check them out. And Pretty Boy J is super talented. I told him, I said, dog, let me get your music. I'm gonna take it over to London, drop it off to my people. Next thing you know, they're jamming it over in London. So that's what I do for my people. I give them 120%, expect nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, if you're willing to put in the work, I'm gonna run with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to be around people that have to be told what to do.
True.
Generally, but you know what I'm saying? There's an exception to every rule. So, but yeah, me and Ziggy chopped it up, and you know, we were just talking, and I said, yeah, you know, my brother, and she told me who her brother was. We're like, oh, we can do this. She was like, let's go. And then next thing you know, we're on a flight to Atlanta. We chill with Goody Mob, you know what I'm saying, DSGB, my man Pastor Troy, you know, T-Mo, Cool Joe, Gip, you know what I'm saying, CeeLo, all them.
How was the birthday party?
It was Cujo.
Yeah,
We went up to Cujo's birthday party. You know, big shout out to Cujo, my man. Hey, my man loves himself some red Snapple, baby. Yo, so I deliver. You know what I'm saying? Because I get the freshest product. True Chef LLC, baby. So, you know, my man's like, yo, I like some red Snapple. You know, red Snapple is amazing. You know, the flakiness and the firmness of the fish at the same time. And then when I put my butter sauce on it. So what I did for Cujo and Yusuf and everybody, it was funny. He called me from Georgia. He's like, man, don't bring a fish all the way up here, man, to make it rubbery. Oh, no, I can't do that, baby. So what I did was I smoked it first. I put a nice smoke on it, get a nice char on it. And then I stuffed it with crab, celery, the Trinity, red pepper, green pepper, onion, garlic, and stuffing. And then I stuffed it, and then I did an aromatic yellow rice. And then I did an escovitch pepper with it. And then I put it in the oven and let it go. And then I did a little island with it, a little island style. And then it's actually on my my culinary page, my ECH_culinary artistry page. And then I had 3, maybe about 2.5 pound snappers. And I did the island style. I rubbed the jerk on it, and I rubbed the Scotch bonnet pepper on it, and I just dropped them in the fry, and then put some fresh lime, and then I served those out as my appetizers, and then I brought out the main course, and everyone loved it. You know.
We're gonna switch gears here. You know, most people like to do traditional interviews. Me, I do things different. We're gonna play a game.
Let's go.
We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something. It's called this or that. You're gonna pick. So we're gonna start off. Boston. Boston or Florida?
Florida.
Why?
It's hot.
Okay.
It stay hot.
Okay.
Even when it's cold, it's hot. You know, Florida for me, again, the weather. You know, back home is home. Boston strong to the day I die. But Florida is my home. I got it tattooed on me. So that way, again, it's for the mental as well. When I fly out of the state and I go somewhere cold, I look at my ribs. I'm like, ribs next to my heart. I'm going back to Florida. So, but yeah, Florida for me.
Okay. Brady or Montana?
Oh, Brady. Right.
Okay.
Brady. I like the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
My man was the last quarterback pick.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go to Michigan.
You want to go to
Yeah,
Michigan?
I did.
Yeah.
They had Tim Bianca Batuka back then when that's how old I am. But and then Charles Woodson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brady.
Definitely Brady. Okay, let's go old and new school. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Mike.
Why?
Well, he a beast.
So-
And he a cute.
Okay, so LeBron's not a beast.
I didn't say he wasn't. Mike's a bigger beast.
Mike is a bigger beast.
Mike's a bigger beast. Mike is a trendsetter.
Uh-huh.
Mike got a special on right now.
Yeah,
And plus, growing up, my brother loved MJ. Nice. Look, with my sneakers.
Exactly. That's why.
Jordan, I got my J's on.
Yeah.
The older school generally grew up on Jordan. Jordan was breaking ankles back and forth. Breaking ankles was the thing. But granted, all kings fall. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But he didn't fall.
Yeah.
He went out on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then not to mention, when's the last time he played a game?
Mm-hmm.
He still got the #1 shoe sale in the world.
Mm-hmm. Is he the greatest athlete of all time? Do you think?
I wouldn't say basketball. I wouldn't say you could have the greatest athlete be basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the greatest athlete would actually have to be a sprinter. I mean, because you're constantly training. You're constantly training to the point of you're breaking down or something with distance.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily your sprinter, but something with distance. I got the baddest dude I used to love watching was Tyson though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude was even now.
Okay, so Tyson Ali.
Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson eat up Ali.
Okay. So Tyson's the greatest. You think he's the greatest fighter of all
I
time?
believe Tyson is the greatest fighter
Okay.
at his weight class.
Okay. So you heavyweights are better than middle class and lightweights, or you just?
Well, for me, the heavyweights, they hit the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Floyd, congratulations to Floyd in his career, but I couldn't stand watching Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stand it, but I had to respect his craft.
Exactly.
My man was good at what just because you're good at what you do don't mean I gotta like it, but I will respect it. If you're the best, I mean, you're not gonna say you're gonna lose to somebody, especially on camera.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, Chef, listen. You're a man of many talents.
I am.
Many talents.
I
Many
am.
talents. Listen, I agree with everything you said except for Jordan and LeBron. That's just my opinion.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I believe the clock is wrong twice a day.
Yeah, that's true. These 2 times, LeBron's the greatest.
I hear you. No, but LeBron, I gotta get my man came out of high school.
True.
You know what I'm saying? My man was, it's hard to develop into a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're born a beast or you're not.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
is
And if
true.
you're born a beast, you maintain that. Jordan maintained that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If your talent doesn't make you a beast, your work ethic will.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it starts with somebody that can lead the way.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that does something different.
Mm-hmm.
I found me so I could give back and help another person find themselves. You know how many people Jordan helped?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Just by watching him and hearing that he got cut from his high school team.
Mhm.
You know how many cats stayed extra late to you know what I'm saying?
Keep going. That's true.
Yeah, but nowadays it's kind of hard because you got social media.
Mhm.
Social media, you know what I'm saying? What happens in Asia can be here and at the you know what I'm saying at send.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're open up to more. We're exposed to more. So that's where we're at with that. But I still go with MJ.
Yeah. Well, listen. We're gonna always split hairs there.
Mhm.
I am gonna throw a name in there because this person passed earlier this year. Kobe Bryant. What's your take on Kobe and what did he mean to basketball?
I didn't watch Kobe that much, but my man was a force. My man, again, you know what I'm saying? But basketball wasn't, you gotta ask my brother that.
Brother more people.
My brother be kicking it with Kobe, you know what I'm saying? The
True.
Mambo. Every time I'm out in LA with him, Kobe, but he ain't Jordan, but Kobe, I'm like, you can't even play. You know what I'm saying? I would say that to my brother. My brother be looking fly, come on,
Yeah.
to nobody.
So, but besides boxing, you think you were better than him in any other sport besides boxing?
I'm better than my brother in boxing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I remember that you said you could beat him in video games as well too.
Oh man, yo, he used to shut the game off. I was beating him. Yo, if I was beating him, I'd be running like, hey, the old Tecmo Bowl
Yeah.
on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I used to play with the Buffalo Bills, Thurman Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He would be the Raiders, you know what I'm saying? Because he loved Bo Jackson. I gotta give it to Bo, you know what I'm saying? But Thurman Thomas was a beast because they had the defense. The Raiders didn't have a defense. My brother would shut the game off on him.
Bruce Smith, I remember that.
Yeah, Bruce Smith, Darryl Talley. Thurman, yeah, I met Thurman Thomas when I was in Jacksonville. That's a big dude. That's a big little dude.
Yeah, Jim Kelly, great team, great
Oh,
team.
Jim Kelly played for the U.
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
You already know. With football, who is your team?
College or NFL?
NFL.
NFL, I'm around with the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bucks and the Patriots. Because I'm from Mass, I grew up with them. I got pictures with Bledsoe. They allow me to play at their camp. You know, Ben Coates. You know, then everyone loves Gronk. My man Gronk is off the chain.
Of course.
But from the Bucks, you know, I deal with a lot of them. You know, a lot of them are cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta go check out Ian Beckles, like I said, and Shahidi, Warren Sapp, again, played from the U.
Yeah.
D Brooks.
Definitely.
You know.
Ronnie Barber.
Yeah, Rondé. Yeah.
That's great. That was a great years for Temple. Definitely a great.
Yeah,
team.
I went to I was over there with then you got All-Star. You know, All-Star was an A train, and then you got John Lynch was just an assassin.
Yeah.
Then,
Great team. Great team. Chef, who was more the cooking in you growing up? Your mom or your father?
My father.
Father? Okay. So I know he definitely loved seeing you doing your thing with cooking. What would you say is his favorite dish to eat?
My dad's favorite dish to eat is oxtails. You know, he gave me him and my uncle gave me an old school recipe. You know, throwback. My father was born in 1932. So, you know, he like just how my mom used to do it. So they showed me one time, and I was like, all right. So, every time my uncle, the one that had passed away, would come into town, he'd be like, baby, make me the oxtail. I'm like, all right. But now I know how to freak oxtails because oxtails are super expensive. So I got a couple of tricks to where I can double the meat, it's a fraction of the price.
Oh, wow. That's a good deal. Definitely a good deal. With this coronavirus going on, do you miss sports? Do you miss watching sports?
No, you know what? I miss watching the U. You know, the Hurricanes are my favorite team. We still got a little bit. We got till August. You know what I'm saying? Before football cranks up. But right now, my focus is on my father. My focus is on my father and my career. You know, because the end of this virus isn't in sight. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do what I can to make sure my father is healthy, is strong, and everything else is a bonus. You know, my father's a priority right now. It's shifted. My father's health is deteriorating. Luckily the VA has come through, but no, I'm worried about making him his dishes, making sure he likes it, make sure he's good, make sure his his quality of life is what it should be because he earned it. My man's been through 2 wars. So it's on me right now. You know, my brother's out west doing it, making sure that the family out there is good. I don't have time to worry about what I can't control.
True. Where can we find your book? How can we, if somebody wanted to buy the book now, where can they go to find the book?
They can shoot me a DM. You can shoot me a DM on my Instagram. My Instagram is True Chef Official page. And you can also go to my culinary page, which is ECH, my son's initials, Elijah Clive Hall, _ culinary artistry. Third, you can go to Amazon. I also recorded and narrated my own audiobooks. Big shout out to Glass House Studios, Tampa, Florida. That's also on Amazon. Barnes & Noble, I believe you have to order it through there. And those are the outlets right now. I'm waiting for something big to happen so I can go ahead and do my second book. I still have a lot of things that I would like to share, because you definitely have to work harder than yesterday. And I got this one done, and I was told that I would never be able to do it. But I can hold this, right? My son can see that I'm not being defined by a disability. But I'm not satisfied with that because I want to go bigger. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the greatest. I want to be epic. I want to be that person like, yo, that was a chef that did all that stuff, but he also used to like to save lives. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing greater, in my opinion.
Who is Corey Hall?
proud father.
One word to describe Cordell.
Humble.
Big word, humble. Florida and your ties to Florida, the Sunshine State. What's the perks of staying in Boston besides Florida?
The perks of staying in Boston, I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot of roots in Boston. Not necessarily family, but family. The food is amazing up there, the cultures, you know, it's home. But once that first frost hits, it's a wrap.
It's time to go.
It's a wrap. I'm on the first thing smoking. I remember Uncle Luke was saying, big shout out to Luke, you know, Dade County. He would say, man, you know what the greatest thing about Florida is? Like, when I go do an event in Detroit and they boo me, he said, y'all got to stay here. I'm going back to Miami. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, I mean, Florida is, Florida for me is paradise. You know, I've been to paradises all over the world. I can walk, you know, 3 feet outside of the Ocean Manor Hotel and Resort and be in paradise. You know, big shout out to Frank. You know, a great man. It's nice to have friends. You know, people that when you call, they don't say what you want. They're like, yo, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You know, Frank's been one of those friends.
Besides, because I know your father and your brother, the biggest inspirations in your life. Besides those two, who would you say is the most inspirational person in your life?
My son. I got my son tattooed on my neck because I suffer from a lot of you know, disabilities, but I'm not going to use those as an excuse. So what I do is I have checks and balances, and you know, I went through a little bit of tattoo therapy because you know, sometimes my memory lapses because of all the concussions, because of all the head traumas. So I was like, how can I fix this? Well, I got my son's name tattooed on me, so I have my tunnel vision, and I stay the course. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth. You know, that's why I'm doing it.
If you can, one more time, give the folk your social media so they know how to find you, follow you, and purchase your book.
My name is Corey Hall, Chef Corey Hall. I go by True Chef. If you would like to find me, you can go to my official True Chef page, or you can go to my culinary page, which is ECH, my son's initials, _ culinary artistry, or you can go to my YouTube page. I still got a little bit of work on there. You can also find my book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble as well. I've also narrated my own audiobooks at Glass House Studios in Tampa, Florida, and I'm just trying to live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the True Chef Experience. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to everybody supporting my grind and my journey. It's Mental Illness Awareness Month, and tomorrow isn't promised. If you want to go out there and get a trusted process and work harder than yesterday, I found me. You can do it too. Again, to everybody supporting my grind, to Frank in the Ocean Manor Hotel and Resort,